Hello everyone, Duckyworth here. I've had a little bit of a rough week this week. Work has been pretty hectic, but I'm ready to start recording my next live reaction, and I think I have chosen a good film for me to cheer myself up with and perk up my spirits. It's a film that I have been excited for quite a long time to watch. 20 years, in fact, yes. It's a film that I first saw when I was a child, around about like 5, 6, 7 years old. It has been that long since I've seen it, but I do really vividly remember bits and pieces of it, which I think is going to be a good sign because I remember me and my sister really, really enjoyed this film when we first watched it. And it is the film adaptation of Roald Dahl's James and the Giant Peach. Yes, the one directed by Henry Selick, same director of Nightmare Before Christmas and Coraline. So I love Nightmare Before Christmas and Coraline, and I do remember enjoying James and the Giant Peach. And as someone when I was a child, I love Roald Dahl books. I still do love Roald Dahl, but when I was younger, James and the Giant Peach wasn't my favourite one. I think my favourite one was probably the Twits or the Enormous Crocodile, because I remember reading those a lot when I borrowed them from the library at school. But James and the Giant Peach was another one that I really enjoyed, and I just remember how charming, like the art style of the film is. And it does have a lot of creativity to it from what I can remember. But I decided to finally put an end to this 20-year gap in between my viewings of James and the Giant Peach, and I have it on a DVD. And yes, it is a Region 2 DVD, so this is probably going to end up being a Onward situation where the syncing of my reaction to the US recording, to the US version that a lot of my friends likely will have for their viewings of it, they won't sync up. But hopefully the reaction to it will still be entertaining for you all. And I'm just looking at the back of a DVD here, 76 minutes, quite a compared to to many of the films that I've seen, like Wolf Walkers, Raya of the Last Dragon, and Ralph Breaks the Internet. How long Raya and the Last Dragon? How long my reactions went on for those, like in the 2 hour mark. I think having one that is likely going to be a little bit shorter will be a bit of a break for me. And considering how I felt about Ralph Breaks the Internet last time, or Vanellope Breaks Ducky, as I like to call it. I think a film which I'm looking forward to and I'm anticipating watching will likely be just the thing I need to cancel it out. I know that with the poll on a DeviantArt I shared that A Monster in Paris was the winner of the poll for people who would like to see my next live reaction to after Ralph Breaks the Internet. It was runners up. But I just had a thought that I just wanted to put an end to my 20-year gap watching this film, so this is going to be my next reaction I'm recording tonight, and hopefully you guys will all enjoy it. Okay, I've got the film all ready to go here. I've got it on DVD on my laptop here, and I'm going to press play. Here we go, everybody. For the first time in 20 years, I'm going to see James and the Giant Peach, and a lot of my friends, in particular, Ruby Rouge 649 on DeviantArt. I know she's a really big fan of this film because she saw it a lot when she was younger, and a fair bit of her fan art that she has posted related to the film has been a big inspiration for me to begin watching this film again. So thank you very much. There, a big shout out to you. And here we go, everybody. 3, 2, 1, play. Oh. Okay, the Disney logo there. Oh, look at those drawings. That looks really pretty. Oh, I remember the music in this as well. I really enjoyed the music in this. Randy Newman did the music, if I remember correctly. Um, Miriam Margolyes, Joanna Lumley. I remember them in this. Pete Postlethwaite, like Pete Postlethwaite, introducing Paul Terry. I think that's James there. Oh look, it looks a bit like a model of a beach there. God, it looks a bit like me when I was younger. Oh, I like the little grasshopper there on the cake. But knowing it's a Roald Dahl, this isn't going to last very long, I can tell. Because you can never know what's going to happen in a Roald Dahl story. That bit there, that is a trademark Randy Newman. That trumpet there, and looking at clouds, that's like a Toy Story there. And they'll join the Mouskovitz family. Hopefully, there aren't any trolls there who sing very annoying songs and spread a. Oh, I was good for nature. I was sudden. Okay. As they do, as rhinos do. Uh, oh God. I remember being terrified of the rhino there. Oh no. On Sponge and on Spiker. What names? Ah! The spaces. Work, 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 work. It's like on Sponge and on Spiker, they're like complete scum of human beings, but with the effort that with the performance that Joanne Lumley and Miriam Margolyes give to them, it's like they're clearly having fun with the role and they're so over the top with what they're doing with them. I just find them way too funny to completely hate them. They're very love to hate villains for me. Oh, oh God, ew, ugh. Yeah, you do look and smell. No, I'd catch something if I ate you. I love that performance. Ugh. Ah, my dearest sponge. Another thing I remember is the set pieces in this. You can tell it's Henry Selick. God, like look at that. Almost looks like someone out of a storybook. Uh, how does that house not fall off a cliff? Just look at that there. It looks like this whole place looks like it belongs in the other mother's dimension. Ugh. Anyway, speaking of a rhino, I do remember that rhino absolutely terrifying me as a child. I just remember those bits when the rhino appears in the clouds. That was something that that was nightmares for me. God, look at them. Yeah. You ever get the feeling that if Queen Chrysalis was a human, she'd look a lot like Aunt Spiker? Because that's what I think of looking at her. Oh, lovely fish heads there, direct from Stormalong Harbour. That would eventually turn into monster barbers. Charming. It's like something about the set pieces in this. It looks almost like a stage production, and I do really love the how the backgrounds look, all the creative weirdness it has. You know what James reminds me of? Just looking at him right now. You remember that? That. Ah. Ah. No. Ah. Was that spider just coming straight from writing some pig in the web? You know, something about this kid. He reminds me a little bit of what was John say earlier? The the boy from Rockadoodle, except actually tolerable. He's nowhere near as and even has that weird thing where when he pronounces his R's as W's, but he's not screeching every single one of his lines like and calling himself a furry like the kid from Rockadoodle calls himself, and when he's yelling for Chanticleer. Oh, because one thing that I do remember from this is that the insects in the peach, I think it's like they turn giant due to the peach eating it. I think. So is that spider going to be Mrs. Spider? Ah, because I only remember little bits and pieces of this film, but I do really remember loving it. Oh, he's sending out his tribute to find Princess Rapunzel. That's a nice paper lantern there. That's a nice little song. Ah. Oh no. Ah. Spider! Ah. Oh, okay, I just fall down the stairs. Ah, okay. It's like I can't. It's like it's over the top. They're just too over the top to find horrible. Ah. Ah. Oh, okay. He's cut. The guy comes straight from a set of Chitty Chitty Bang Bangs and was shown up. Uh, all right. Are you a wizard? The late Pete Pofflethwaite. Where looking like he's just put a whole load of weird pocket watches and things into his. Oh, was that his lantern? So he picked up his lantern. Uh. Uh. Yeah, this is definitely a Roald Dahl story. Ah, is either. Yeah, this is definitely a Roald Dahl story of that weird combination. But make sure that you get it right, or you'll accidentally end up making Formula 86. Speaking of which, makes me wonder what Roald Dahl would have thought if he was alive and got to see this. Because I remember that he did enjoy the adaptation of BFG, but he hated the first Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and he didn't like the ending of the Witches of adaptation. Okay, but where did you come from? Isn't he supposed to be like a? I haven't read the book for ages. Isn't he like a astronaut or something? I can't remember. And when they squeaked, they sounded a bit like the dragon snappers from Coraline. Oh wow. He's become one with the mist. So you have Pete Pofflethwaite and the Rhino being one with clouds in this film, apparently. Oh, ouch. But look like pasta. I remember when I was younger, I always thought that these crocodile tongue things look like pasta. They look like pen that's become radioactive. Oh wow, okay. Disproportionate retribution at its finest. Yeah. Oh, there it is. And it's going to transform into Garfield's butt. I love expressions that these two pull off. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a giant peach, alright. Finally, a bit of colour to this dreary house that the Sponge and Spiker aunts have. You're quite a blow off, aren't you? Uh, any anything related to you two and smell don't belong in the same sentence because that's not going to be nice. Oh, okay. Oh, poor kid. Ah, they look a bit like when the witches take off all their disguises in the witches film. Ah, oh no, you duck lips is not a good look on you. It's not a good look for many people, but with you it looks particularly wretched. And then we're going to eat you. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, he's got a nice tie. Wait. Oh. He's got a nice tie, though. Uh, Thank you for the stick. Oh, he's going litter picking. I legitimately thought they just gave him a stick to play with. I was like, what? Well, then again, knowing how crazy these two biddies are, that's probably wouldn't be a surprise. Oh, the last piece of pasta. Oh, it's going into a peach. God, it's been a while since I've had a peach. Eee. Oh, okay, so glorious and... Oh god, it's turned into a... It's turned into a spaceship. Well, anywhere's better than being with your aunt, am I right? Oh, he's heading straight into the other mother's lair, judging by the serrated walls here. Oh, here we are. God, that reminds me of that reminds me a lot of the shadows of Oogie Boogie there. Well, it makes sense, but God, this just reminds me how much I love Henry Selick animation. Ah, ah. Well, you can't really blame him for lies. God, I love the designs. But just like I love how stylized they are. It is the power. It is the power of radioactive pasta. I'll have to have a look up who did the voices for this, because I recognise. Because I recognise the worm. I think he's David Thewlis, but I don't. I can't off the top of my head. I can't remember all the others. Oh, that's true. And once again, other rockadoodle comparisons. Uh, oh, another song. I do really love Randy Newman songs. Uh, uh, I love Miss Spider's design especially. Uh, and look at that fog. That's definitely like another one in Night Before Christmas, but fog the mist there. I think the glowworm's design is probably my favourite. She reminds me a little bit of the glowworm reminds me a bit of have you ever seen a Will o' the Wisp? A British show, a British cartoon. She reminds me a bit of that. Oh, where'd that come from? We just popped him on my head there. Oh god, look at his lighting. And we're gonna go into Oogie Boogie's Casino next. They're back. I love a centipede's voice and the energy he has. The way he wiggles. Now, I remember in the book, I think on Smudge and Spiker gets squashed by the peach in the book, but in here they live and they stay around for a while longer. Just every expression they have. Yeah. Oh no, and then they're gonna roll around and Flick's gonna become giant too, and we're gonna have to, and he's gonna save him. Maybe you could run, you idiot. If you look after your house in the same bad way, look after your car. It's not going to move. Whee! That's your reaction to everything. Just look up at things and just go, eh! Ah. Oh, okay. I wonder if this is going to make the headlines the next day. Giant Garfield's butt rolls throughout British countryside. Ah! I got a chicken. Elizabeth's face. I love how expressive Henry Selick animation gets. Oh, we're big! And Joanna normally always looks like she's just bearing her teeth, like, and everything. Oh, 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 there's a bit of a tension between you two, isn't there? Mine, 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 mine. Or big water. God, look at those water effects. The visual designs in these Henry Selick films, even when I saw pictures of Monkey Bone, even though I've never seen the film myself and I heard it's supposed to be a bit bad, the visual designs always look really nice. Almost looks exactly like like a storybook. I like the boots that she has. I wonder if she got her stole from Muffet. And it makes me wonder what Angel Dust would look like in this. Angel Dust looks a little bit like he ate a bit of a peach as well. Now that I think about it. No, it just appeared somewhere and just came out of nowhere. All we need to do is fear that we're not going to make sure we don't get any wind blowing us off course. And there's terrible trolls everywhere. Like, just make. No. All got somewhere to look forward to. Trust Roald Dahl to take something absolutely crazy and makes it absolutely heartwarming at the same time with a family of misfits like this, all coming together from an evil Spike and an evil Sponge. You. Mine, 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 mine. I love the way he moves. A worm. Oh dear. Poor earthworm. Uh, oh god, eat the camera like that. As well as Harry Potter, the one thing I know David Thewlis most for is the main character from Anomalisa. Want a big crunchy worm on a stick? A big, juicy, succulent worm. Ah, ah. Sounds more like a train to me. Ah, okay. I do remember this though. Okay. The head. Wait, is that where the aunt's got the weird stargazy pie from? That's an actual dish, that weird fish head pie thing. It's called stargazy. It's like a Cornish dish, I think. Oh dear. Just the way you move, fresh hot wheat. Ah, that's a pretty clever idea. Uh, Help me! Please help us! The seagulls look a bit like, well, I mean, of course they look like puppets. It's stop motion, but they sort of look a bit like wooden puppets in particular. Ah, I do remember the shark thing though being another thing that scared me quite a bit when I was younger. Oh, okay, so it's a shark shooting mini sharks. Sounds a little bit like a premise for a Cuphead boss now that I think about it. Ah, wait, we're barking? Oh, nice. Never, never, never underestimate the power of a handbag. Those things hurt. Oh. Ah. Oh, nice. That's a close one. Oh, that was a nice ricochet there. Oh. It's interesting because of the sharks, like the effects on like the water and such. That look like hand drawn. Yeah. I do like how all of them work together there. That's But where did the shark come from? Just wondering. I mean, it was pretty freaky, and I mean, knowing Roald Dahl, he probably throwed threw a weird thing in. One thing I remember, does it have something to do with weird pirates that come in a bit later? I remember the pirate scene definitely. Ah, your earthworm Jim. No relation to earthworm Jim there. Wonderworm. All you need now is a blaster and a super suit. Oh wow! I never noticed that before. That cloud looking like a teapot. So that's well, all the clouds look like candy floss there, so you could always eat that. Oh gosh. I remember that. I remember that bit with the seagull, like, imagining it cooked. I distinctly remember that bit was sent a picture on it. Ah. Ah. Okay, now we're all fighting together. Ugh. And there it goes. Oh dear. Eat the peach. Yeah, and what I was trying to say earlier, when it comes to the Rockadoodle comparison, it's a live action boy becoming ah becoming a cartoon to blend in with the other characters. But once again, I do prefer how these characters play off each other. James is nowhere near as annoying as the kid from the Rockadoodle, and you don't have one of them randomly shouting exposition over and over again. Oh, that's a nice tablecloth there. Wait, did he just eat a cigar? Oh no, there it is. I remember this bit. I remember this. Oh, it is. First, it's for the toast. Fine. Yeah, these songs are a lot of fun. I know a lot of people poke fun at Randy Newman songs, but I've always really enjoyed them. Oh. And I think I remember this being was this like in the book? Was there a poem like that this song's based off of? Oh God. Oh, poor worm. Oh, nice. Oh, we're gonna make the weird milkshake from Coraline there. And I love how gross like all the lyrics are, but they're turning out really really catchy in me. Again, like, just like Roald Dahl and Henry Selick. There's something about that sound when the peach just goes. The peach. Oh, will you two kiss already? There's clearly friction between the two of you. I wonder if they're going to mention that Miss Spider was like the one that James saved ages ago. Hang on, what's the hang on. Okay, what's the timestamp here? 4016. Oh, I'm over half an hour into this. I'm really getting into this film. This is This is a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying this one so far. Coming into it, just a lot of energy, a lot of charm. The animation's like really good. When it comes to bits of a story, it's like they keep mentioning I keep mentioning like the Rhino and all the things about like where Pete Postlethwaite's character came from. I can't remember if they were. I mean, I can't remember if I think Pete Postlethwaite was like a strange astronaut of some sort in the book. It's been ages since I read the book, and I mean I know that not explaining it also adds like a degree of like a horror to it, just like making it confuse, making it like more threatening in a way. But it just seems a little bit strange. Just like I mean, I know the opening segment was like a dream, like James before here of realizing happier times. But I just remember like all this thing about the rhino. Like when I was younger, I always wondered whether it was supposed to be like a kind of like a weird wind and cloud formation, given what it looks like there. But the thought of a sentient clouds like coming out and just blowing away, like killing your parents like that, almost like it's got a vendetta, is pretty cosmic horror story wise. But it's pretty scary in itself. And given Roald Dahl, it was in character for him to come with a lot of his weird, crazy, and often threatening scenarios that the characters came up in, like where the witches came from and like all their weird things when they come up with recipes. It's definitely a very charming film, and I'm having fun with this. But yeah, I'm halfway through it, so I'll just take a little bit of a break now, and I'll record the second half and let you know what I think of the film when I'm done. I think I'll have a look at the actors that played the rest of the bugs, because David Thewlis is the main one that I recognise, and I think Miriam Margolyes was the glowworm there, but I'll need to have a look. So, out of curiosity, I just decided to bring up the Wikipedia page for the film of James and the Giant Peach, because I've just been. David Thewlis as Earthworm was the one that I remember the most, but I'm just wanted to have a look at the others just to see if there's anyone else I recognise. Okay, so Paul Terry was James Henry Trotter. Wait, what's his name? James Henry Trotter. Mainly known for James and the Giant Peach. What else did he do? Oh, as of 2017, he's a mathematics teacher and aspiring novelist and lives in County Durham in northeast England. Oh, interesting. And he was a bass guitar player for the indie band Glass Apple in the 2000s. After James the Giant Peach, he went on to a children's sitcom Micro Soap, and he gave up acting after the series ended. Well, I hope he's doing well. I hope you, wherever you are, Paul Terry, I hope you're doing well with your teaching job. I'm sure you're doing fine. Yeah, Miriam Margolyes as Glowworm. Got that one right. Let's see here. Simon Callow as Mr. Grasshopper. I recognise his face just looking at him. Where else has he been in? Let's see. As well as Peach. Oh, he was Andre in the 2004 version of Phantom of the Opera. I do recognise that. That one time. He was Vincent Cadby in Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls. That's what I recognise him from. Simon Callow. Yes, looking at him, I recognise that. Okay, let's see. Anyone else? Richard Dreyfuss as Mr. Centipede. Yes, him. I recognise him. He was wasn't he one of the main guys in Jaws? Yes, I think he was. Yes, he was the main character in Jaws and in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I remember those were on recently. I recognise that. Jeff Bennett as Mr. Centipede's singing voice. Oh, that's cool. Okay, Jane leaves as Mrs. Ladybug. Anything I would recognise? And let's see. I don't quite recognise any of the roles that she had off the top of my head. Just looking at her filmography here. Susan Sarandon as Miss Spider. I recognise her. Yes. Yes, Thelma and Louise, Witches of Eastwick. Yes, I recognise her now that I can hear it again. Okay, so I do know some of the names in this. Okay, so nice to know that some of the faces in here are ones that I recognise. And thinking back about the film, just before I start recording part two again, I do really love, as well as like all of the production design and all of the music and everything. I think one of the main strengths that Roald Dahl has to a lot of his stories is that it captures a lot of really strange scenarios, a lot of crazy things going on, be it like either be it like the twits, like the really vivid descriptions of Mr. Twit's beard, or a lot of things to do with like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and everything in his strange worlds is created. But it manages to weave all the creativity and all the oddities into something like really charming and really heartwarming. That's and I think this is no exception. It's like all the Bugs and James, they're on the run from being chased down by the evil aunt, and they're all getting together and they're finding a place where they can be together and be like a surrogate family. And if you know me, you know that I absolutely love surrogate family based stories, like all the band of misfits like coming together and forming a family and getting to trust each other. So yeah, and as I said, it's been 20 years, but I'm surprised how much I vividly remember bits and pieces from this film, and it's still finding ways to surprise me, like a lot of really beautiful set pieces, and like how charming a lot of the stranger bits in the background are, like the candy floss looking clouds in the previous scene just before they start eating the peach. So yes, it's got a ton of charm to it, and I can see how it's stuck in my mind for so long after only seeing it once. So I'm going to start part two of the recording now. The timestamp is 4016, and it's Mr. Centipede sleeping on the stalk of a giant peach there. And wow, those seagulls are pretty hench if they can hold up the peach for that long and they're just continuing flying like that. Wow, there's some buff seagulls there. Okay, so here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. Richard Dreyfuss, but in a lot of into the. Oh dear, are they all drunk? Oh wow. Looks like we're all drunk off the weird peach drink we're having. Oh. Oh. Oh, there we go. Oh, they knew. Oh. And I still love the fact that like all the charm in the design and Considering what Henry Selick's future spider character would be like in The Other Mother, I do like how he can make a spider appealing in the design as well. Like more a more charming design rather than the monstrosity that The Other Mother was. He's got a thing for making really interesting spider character designs. Okay, we suddenly this design looks a bit like an Angela Anaconda-esque James Caterpillar there. I think I remember this too. She's even more skinny than usual. What's the way that Spike is moving there? Oh God. You know, one thing I was wondering is that this film can get pretty dark in a lot of places, and this film still has a U rating on the DVD. What I've got, I'm surprised by that. Uh, oh God, yeah, that was terrifying. Poor kid's still having nightmares even though he's away from his evil aunt. And thank you for more nightmares there, Henry Selick. Ugh. It looks like oh God, they're still flying. The sky makes this look a little bit like the place where Buddy in Elf when he headed off. The ships sunk in the background do look a lot like storybook pop-ups. And I do love this. How can you confuse those two? They're nothing alike. Oh, so he has seen the world in that way. Oh, but where's monocle fell off? The way that his arms all went up there. Oh, ow. Nice kick. That was like tough. So the characters that we have here at the moment is we have a werewolf, we have an evil animal hunter, and a witch among the cast here. I just just thinking about now that I know the cast. Oh, oh, there we go. Is he going to make up for for his faults? Oh, he's committed pesticide. That's a good analogy for them getting suicide there. Don, those are some pretty resilient buggers and a little boy. They're going into ah oh no, they're back somehow. Oh, I remember this bit. Yes, there he is. Jack Skellington as the pirate captain there. I remember that when my sister and I watched it, we instantly recognised that skeleton there. Except now he has a parrot instead of zero. He's had enough of people looking like holy shipwreck instead of holy shit. You can't get away from him. He's had enough of he's hasn't got any interest in Sandy Claus anymore. He's looking to experiment on you to try to find out what to do in how he can turn you into a Christmas or Halloween ornament. A lot of expressions he has. Oh, nice one there, kid. Oh. Wait, did that one look like Daffy Duck? Not Daffy, Donald Duck? That one looks a bit like Donald... Oh, okay. Oh, okay, now we've got an Eskimo skeleton. Oh. Oh. Yeah, that is definitely Donald Duck. I'm not sure things keeps bouncing around him is. I wonder if this was in the book because again, it's been a while since I've read the Gems of a Giant Peach book. Oh, get off the black. We found out where the Black Pearl went to, and instead of Barbossa, it's Jack Skellington as the captain. Oh, I love expressions. I love expressions that they give the characters. Kiss you. I knew it. There's a time for apologies later. Ah, what's that? What's that there? There she go, like a little cape. Oh, and the seagulls can still fly. What are they feeding those seagulls? Is the Big Apple going to become the Big Peach by the end of this? Because I just remember that bit at the end when it lands on the Empire State Building. It was just the bit of the peach all dripping down. Oh, he's taking over. Come on, give him a break, mate. Oh, I do like the way that the characters play off each other in this. Oh gosh, I remember how pretty this scene is. The music. Oh. I love the way we hand over Grasshopper dancing. Wait, that patchwork looks a bit like something from a Halloween Town. Oh. God, look at the stars. Oh, okay, star going by. Ah. And the seagulls can somehow still fly. Okay, clouds, trapeze artists. Alright. I remember that movement Ladybird has really vividly as well. What, spinning top? Alright. Uh, I think there was something else in that peach, rather than the weird pasta thing. Because now we're seeing, weird things all about. Oh dear, the clouds are coming. Uh, no. And I mean, as strange as all the visuals are, like the peach somehow being in a constellation now for mobile for some reason. Uh, it's still a really pretty song. Ah, yeah, I knew it. They're dancing together. I'll call it. I'll ship it. Oh, come on, kiss. The hat suits him. Oh, oh, there it is. Quick, get down there before Stanley turns it into a giant hedge wasteland. And there's a Christopher Plummer seagull building it. The hat suits him. Oh dear, the rhino's back again, finally. Oh, oh dear. It's King Sombra! As strange as it is how it comes up in this film, it is still pretty frightening. And maybe it was waiting for them to just get to New York before it blew them off course again. Stand up to the electric rhino. Ah, okay, his eyes just went wide there. There. What? Oh. Okay, that bit when the rhino bared its teeth, that was really actually pretty frightening there. Just very unnaturally uncanny looking. The seagulls are gone finally. And they're going to fly off and they're going to find another giant earth fruit to pull for months and months on end. Okay, so he stood to a rhino, and the rhinos, I guess, defeated? Or just dissipated? He coughed up the pasta. And once again, like a better version of Rockadoodle's take on this. Because it's not going to end with them randomly jumping about in a weird green screen effect. I heard that originally Henry Selick wanted James to be like live action throughout the whole thing, but to cut down on production costs, they made him with the scene with the bugs inside the peach. They decided to make him stop motion as well, so it would be easier to mix together. A perfect snack for King Kong to climb up and get. By the looks of it there. That reminds me a bit of the Tim Burton Hansel and Gretel there, when the house started melting. This is a very 1930s, 20s looking New York. Or just get airplanes. But you better be careful or else there's a gorilla coming down to get it. That is one big crane. If it's the Empire State Building. He's a pretty good actor for. He was a pretty good child actor, I think. This looks a bit like Dick Tracy, now that I think about it. Have you ever seen that film? That's another film that I'd like to see again after it's been a long time. Just all this, like, film noir, like a setting for New York here. It looks a lot like that. Well, at least the police and the fire department are pretty quick to act to get the giant peach down. Good police officer there. Good one, mate. The guy who played the police officer looks a bit familiar too. Ah, they somehow drove across the sea to get to the beach. Sponge and Spiker. Those are two determined women there. I'm just getting this mental image of them just like the car just going along the bottom of the sea like that. And then somehow just like, but knowing how crazy these two are, I wouldn't put it past them. Oh God. Just look at them. They look like splicers. Oh, nice. Look, the splicers from Bioshock. Except they didn't need Adam to turn all monstrously grotesque. Who are you? The perfect, most deadpan reaction to these two weirdos coming across them. I love how deadpan this police officer is. Oh God! I thought she was going to show him someone else there. Oh. Ah! Yeah. Surprised the camera didn't crack there. Ah, her eyes. Yeah. No, look at her faces. Oh, there he is. Pete Popplethwaite's back. Well, to be fair, that is a pretty strange Roald Dahl-esque story he came up with. Oh, damn. Listen to the way you... Yeah. I'm a peach. Moving my colas and... Oh, damn. Oh, God. The subtitles actually said neck cracks. And then throws a cat at them and then just... oh, wait, that was the other mother. Oh. Oh, you go, kid. Well, to be fair, how else would a peach get up there? Woo! Oh, God! Oh, God! Oh, no, we're turning into misery. Oh, beat them! Get all the police with the truncheons. Oh. Oh, there we are. The seagulls are still here! Those seagulls are... gods. They're related to the Lord of the Ring hawks. Of how strong they are. Oh, hog tie them. Oh god, oh god, as if I couldn't get any worse. Just a hair there. And he's also tying the parents up like mummies. You're going to the home for really crazy witches. When I first saw them walking into the phone booth there, I kept expecting that scene from Airplane, where they just knock them all over. Oh. God, I could have a piece of peach right now. And then they have another. Oh, what's that there? Oh, they had another peach party and then made more noises. Oh, the stone. Ah. Oh, she looks nice in that. She really is related to Muffet from Undertale. And they kept out Stanley. Centipede enters race. Oh, he's going to be mayor. Oh, there he is. Earthworms, we like smooth men. Also, glowworms in the. She actually looks a little bit like the Lady Liberty, just in that lantern there, a little bit. I like the police officer guy there. Storyboard supervisors. Kelly has written Joe Ramft. Oh, Joe Ramft had something to do with this. This end bit is definitely Randy Newman there. Ah. Just listening to the song here, because I recognise. I remember this song a ton too. Line. Have to get out of there. They know what to do. Their little brains were working overtime. God, this is just making me want to do more karaoke, just like with the songs from this film as well. Every single time I listen to one of these songs in these films I'm coming across, I just want to do more of a karaoke again. It was a ton of fun. That was really, really good. That was well worth watching it again after 20 years. I still can't believe 20 years it has been since I've seen this film all the way through. It couldn't have come. I wish I could have seen it sooner, because that was really, really. It was really charming. It was really enjoyable. I loved a lot of the songs. the Randy Newman songs in it. The Henry Selick, like the stop motion animation, that was always a treat to watch and just have a listen to. It might not be my absolute favourite film that I've ever seen, but it's just a film that's got a ton of charm and a ton of creativity in like the visuals and everything with the story that goes on, and it definitely captures a lot of creative, charming weirdness that Roald Dahl has in any of his projects. If I was to say anything to do with any criticisms that I had to do with the film, I do think it is a little bit strange, but again, I can't remember whether in the book it was like this, but it just seems to be a little bit like his parents were just like eaten by a rhino. I think I remember in the book it was like on the run, like from the London Zoo, like it broke out and just like ate them. And then at the end there, I mean, as scary as the rhino can get, like when it zaps down the peach, it just disperses when the peach falls down to New York and doesn't try chasing them again. Or is it because or is it supposed to be something like or was it really just a storm that James convinced himself was a rhino that was out to get him and tried to kill him and his friends? Like he had convinced himself that was that with all the stories that his evil aunt had shoved into his head to do with this, and it just went at the end. That was always just one thing that I always thought was a little bit. It's not bad, but I just thought it was just a bit strange, like the execution of like the things to do with a rhino. And I mean, when it comes to that weird shark that was attacking them earlier, I mean, a lot of the things are like really creative, like a lot of the things that are going on. And when I was younger, I just remember thinking that the shark was like a strange creation of the Jack Skellington pirate, like to scout the sea for treasure or something like that. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't distract from like how fun a lot of the segments is, but I can see why some people would see that is a little bit odd. Where some of the bits, like the story beats, come in, like mainly the bits like the rhino and the shark there. But I'm just recording this little extra bit for my final thoughts on Gems of the Giant Peach, just after. It's the day after I've recorded my live reaction to it, and since I've watched the film, I've read a few comments on my status updates on DeviantArt where I was talking about the film, and on my Discord channel, where when I was talking about, like, I was just wondering where, like, the rhino came from, how it went away, and just, like, a lot of the things involving a lot of those elements of the films. I've just come across a headcanon that some of my friends have, like Detective88 on DeviantArt, involving the link between the evil aunts and the rhino, because obviously rhinos in real life are vegetarians, so they wouldn't eat people in real life like James's parents. I've heard some people say that they think that with a number of times that the aunts mention the rhino and just like threaten James with it, and like that scene when apparently the rhino knew exactly where it was, where James and the insects were trying to go, and the way that like in the dream, like the aunts were like seemingly summoning that rhino to come after James in that nightmare sequence. I've heard a lot of people say that they could be witches, the aunts. I mean, I know I made a joke in my live reaction, like saying that I was like joking that I had similarities to the witches in the Roald Dahl story of the same name. But even though like Aunt Sponge doesn't have the square feet that the other aunts have, I mean, there's that one bit at the end where the wigs get torn off, and a lot of people were also thinking that it's possible that the aunts use the rhino to kill James's parents in order to get the inheritance from them. And that could also make a lot of sense into like that one bit when they were looking for the compass in the pirate ship, when there was that one odd bit when the aunts were on the fronts of one of the ships there. Yeah, I'm enjoying that headcanon. I think that headcanon in the strange world of this film, that headcanon makes a lot of sense. So I'm thinking just when it comes to like I was saying, oh, where did the rhino come from? We don't see him again after that one bit when they arrive in New York. It would make it would I think it would make sense if the answer summoned the rhino to come after them and attack them just at New York because they knew that was where he was trying to get to. So yeah, thanks to everyone who was sharing that headcanon, and I think that's a really good one to come across. I think and a good interpretation of those events in the film. But something else that I just really enjoyed. I just skipped ahead a bit to the end here. Oh, there's a little jukebox here of a. Okay, here's the random rhino here and the little arms. The rhinos are hitting the arms. How are they less terrifying in puppet form? Okay, that was a nice. That was another funny little bit there. I'd play that. That reminds me a little bit of an amusement that I saw at the pier once when I went on holiday. One of the amusements. But yeah, I'm really glad I could have seen this again. The way that the characters all played off each other, all the insects with James, and they came to love each other as a family. That they were all a lot of fun. They were all a lot of fun to watch. I found, and I think all the actors in this are like really great as well. Like Joanna Lumley and Miriam Margolyes, they're I think you can tell by how much I was laughing like during their scenes. It's like their characters are just like these completely irredeemable, monstrous weirdos who try to extort the peach and take advantage of James at every moment that they have. But they're having so much fun with the roles, and it's just like with a ton of their expressions and like how much overacting they throw in. I just find them strangely a lot of fun to watch. Again, I found them to be a lot like pantomime villains. When it comes to the insects, I found a lot of them to be charming. I mean, when it comes to a glowworm, I mean, she's stuck inside. She is stuck inside the peach, so she doesn't get to interact as much with the others. So, I mean, I still find her really fun to watch, but just compared to the others, she didn't get a lot of chance to have a talk with a lot of them, or with James, except for the scenes when they're inside the peach. Miss Spider and Mr. Centipede. Well, I mean, they were the main ones, other than the grasshopper and the worm. So they were. So obviously they had a lot of the best lines, like the chemistry that they had together, and will you just kiss already? I was getting to, because it's like they clearly had a thing for each other. Even as a child, I was just wanting them to just like kiss, because I clearly shipped them a lot, and it was sweet when they did. And I just really love that one scene with when Miss Spider is like she confides in James that other insects and people are just like scared of spiders, like when everyone's trying to squash her, like keep away from her. I thought that was really sweet, and she does have a really they do have really nice designs. All the insects have, and Mr. Centipede, I did like that bit. Like, I know the world. That was because we were stuck between two pages of National Geographic. That was well. I mean, he wasn't wrong. He was technically right, and the bit with the violin from a grasshopper, that was a really pretty scene, and the bit with the earthworm's movement, that was funny, and I loved the ladybird as like a more motherly like the character of him, but still being able to kick butt with a handbag, that was a lot of fun to watch. James, once again, I think he's like one of the better examples of just like one of the children who gets like whisked away on for adventure like this, because again, he's like the kid from Rockadoodle, but much more tolerable, and he isn't yelling for Chanticleer constantly over and over again, and I can actually understand what he's saying. and he's not calling himself a furry, so so that adds to points for him. And those seagulls, I swear, those seagulls must be eating steroids, because it's like they hold the peach up for days on end, just flying endlessly, and then they just somehow they come back to lift the bugs back. It's like all the insects are like living inside the peach stone now. So hopefully they can manage to hopefully the birds can get some solace. Like either they headed back to the big water to reunite with Kiara and tell them about their adventures around the world, or they could manage to get a rest from carrying a giant fruit all over the world. And again, the visual design, all of it is just like really creative, really like it does look a lot like a giant stylized storybook. And I think the bits like the inside of a house, like the dreary hill that they were living on, the bits with the sea, and the way that the film noir, like black and white style for the New York. And when it goes to the bits with the sea, with the Arctic Sea, with all the ships like sunk, that was a really cool touch. All of the backgrounds for it. Henry Selick really like the Henry Selick like the visual designs in the films he's directed. They're all really fun to watch. It's a really fun to watch film. It's a really good. It's a feel-good film, I'd say. I went into it, I wasn't feeling very good after a after a bit of a bad day, and it perked me up. It was really enjoyable. I had a ton of fun watching it, and I'm really happy that I could track it down and see it again after 20 years. And hopefully, with it being a Region 2 DVD, it's still synced up relatively well with any other editions that anyone has been able to keep up with. Any of my American watchers who are watching a NTSC version of it, or if you have it on Disney Plus, because I think it's on American Disney Plus, but it's not on the UK Disney Plus. But yes, now that I've seen it again, I can happily say that I plan to watch it many more times in the future, because that is such a really lovely, creative, and delightful film to watch. It's not perfect. It has a few like narrative nitpicks, I would say, like the things with Rhino and such. But it's still a film that I can really happily enjoy watching, and it put a really big smile on my face, and couldn't have come soon enough for 20-year gap between watching it. So, what to watch for my next live reaction? Well, I think A Monster in Paris is the next one that I'm going to watch, because that was the original poll winner, and I plan to watch that one next, because that's another film that I haven't seen for a long time. I did karaoke of the titular song for that, and I was happy with how that was pulled off. And I look forward to seeing the film again in full, so I'll let you know when I start watching that. And I hope you enjoyed my live reaction for James and the Giant Peach, everyone. Just make sure that you keep an eye out for any weird glowing radioactive pasta that's jumping about, or you'll eat it and you'll turn into a weird Henry Selick puppet. So, chat to you later, everyone. Duckyworth out. Bye, everyone.